How do you find people that are cool enough to invite to your home? Because, like, I mean,
Yeah.
what is the qualifications for our viewers?
How was your weekend, Julian? I know you're excited to take your nephew out, and you sent a picture with a ton of girls around you, but I think that was an old picture. So did you have any of that kind of fun this year, or what happened? What was exciting for you?
Yeah, I did a whole bunch of stuff. I actually did a lot more than I normally would. And there was events happening Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then now Monday. I ended up going to a fashion show. My friend came into town. She walked it. There was like 60, 70 plus girls. It was supporting the autism. There was a lot of people. There's hundreds of people at this fashion show. Everybody was dressed up in costume. It was really, really awesome. And saw some very creative costumes. One of them was a girl dressed up as a cookie and the guy or a boyfriend dressed up as a Cookie Monster. I thought that was pretty classic. That was pretty smart. I actually enjoyed it. You know, I did a couple other things that weren't too interesting, but it was still fun to be around and talk and take my little nephew out for his first trick or treat, where he finally got around comfortable enough to say trick or treat. It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, some people could take Halloween and take it or leave it. And then there's others that just go insanely like over the top. It is like this huge, huge deal. I went to, it was a party of some friends, you know, there were some kids there or whatever, you know, but it was, I mean, these decorations were insane. There was this huge werewolf, graveyard, everything was moving, tent, bonfire, incredible food, music. They had the U of M game on in state, and yeah, we all know how that ended. So yeah, so sorry about that, Spartans. So yeah, it was good. There was a pirate at this party that I went to, and this pirate, let's just say, she was walking the plank big time. Her man was so pissed. She was really sweet, but she had so much to drink that she decided, part of the party was outside, that she was just going to curl up on a rock and take a nap. And then husband got, pissed off and lost his keys. It's just kind of comical to see people dressed up and these outfits, and I don't know. So yeah, so let's just say that didn't end well for the pirate and her mate. So, yeah, whatever. A little too much alcohol, but we had a good time. It was a really good time. I got a chance to chat with Young Gravy. He FaceTimed me, and I was in a freaking Elvira costume. The wig, I answered him like, shit, like whatever. So we were just kind of talking about a show that's coming up. And anyway, so he's like, okay, so you need, 5 plus 1. And I said, or 5 tickets plus, yourself. And I said, yeah, cool. So then he calls me, and he's in this pool or hot tub. He's got like a pretty like a chick, and then some other, like a big black guy who's really cute. He's like, yeah, I, have some fun to your video. They were all, drinking, but he was really sweet. So, chatted for a couple of minutes, said happy Halloween and stuff, but he was just, because his album released on the 28th, which I absolutely love. I don't know how he puts these crazy, it just sounds good. I love his vibe. So, yeah, so that was cool. So he called, that was fun. Like a pleasant surprise. Yeah, we had the party crashers.
I got confused right there.
Yeah.
I got confused a little bit. You said something and I caught it, and you just kind of went, but you said something of the sort that he was FaceTiming you in a hot tub. With another lady and then a black
couple
guy,
other guys.
a good-looking black guy. And then they said that they do what to your videos? Like you cut that? Like they did what?
Yeah, the guy was like, yeah, I've had some fun. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just kind of, that's his way, a drunk compliment. I
thought you meant it was Young Gravy that said it. I thought you meant Young Gravy said that to you, and I was like, wait a minute, what is going on?
Oh, he has before, but that was on another podcast. He was just being goofy. I think he's just kind of like playing up the whole persona. But if you listen to his new album, it's pretty sick. I liked it. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, so whatever. So that was cool. That was fun. A little cute little surprise. I don't know. I mean, Saturday was pretty crazy.
I do know. I actually know something. I know something which is crazy. Our last podcast, we ended with you not giving us the information of what you were going to do. You said you were going to a grown-up party that was like a eyes wide shut masquerade party that was with a couple like secretive friends. So we want to know. I know we left the last podcast. Yeah. Tell us what that was. Tell us what that means. Give us the details.
Well, I kind of skipped over one of the days. I guess there could be a part 2. That was just like a little private party, no kids. We did have a couple little servers, which were great. So they were tending the bar, which is nice, and serving food. And it was just kind of like a sexy little, kind of like not a sex party per se, but it was just kind of like an open, I don't want to say free for all, but, down here it was a little bit more private, more intimate, dark lights, strobe lights, kind of like that vibe. So, it was just, I wanted everyone to kind of like be able to dress, a certain way, not feel restricted or uncomfortable, and just kind of whatever. Some people smoking, some people I'm sure doing some shrooms, the hot tub. It was nice. It was the weather was good. It was just kind of like a feel good, some close friends, and so that's all.
You've never seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut?
I've never
seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut.
I've not.
You have to see it, but people dress up in masquerades, so you can't see their face, you don't know who they are, and you might do things. And no one know who the other person is. And I was just kind of curious, like, so were you guys wearing masks and like you guys would,
had to wear it the whole night.
Were you swinging? Were you swinging? Is it a swingers party?
It was. I've been to so many of those.
Don't lie to me right now.
I've been to so many of those. Like those, honestly, they are so cheesy. It's like, I can't explain it. I've been to so many. Some are done really well. Like it has to be a certain type of party. Like if it's, I don't know, I can't explain it. Like you can't have just like single guys. Like if a single guy comes, or if a guy is single, he has to like come with a couple, because otherwise it's just like a big sausage fest, So when you go to these things, you just have to go in with I haven't gone to like something like that in a long time, but you have to go in with no expectations. Because if you're just like constantly just trying to, it's like such a turn off. People can feel it. It has to just be organic. Like it has to flow or it doesn't. To get 4 people to be on the same page is really, really hard. So a lot of times it's just like the girls doing their thing, or, I don't know, sometimes, a girl and a couple, so it just really depends. I think, that the people that are hardcore and they take that to the next level where they're like dating other people. I mean, that was never my thing. It should be like about each other and like, making fantasies come alive.
I know that like in Vegas, there are like hidden clubs around Vegas and at the top that you have to be like a member to get in, but it's like a party like that where you could go in there and it happens like that. I was invited to go, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I've never heard of this bar. I'd like to go. And this girl was like, yeah, you should come with me. I think you'll really enjoy it. I'm like, cool, I'm going to go. And then I like started, like, I looked it up to kind of be like, oh, this sounds cool. And then like, she left out all the details. So I didn't know what it was. Right. I didn't know that it's like it's a hookup bar basically.
Yes.
And a swingers bar. It's high dollar. Like I guess these memberships cost thousands of dollars to be a part of, and it's very secluded,
exclusive.
And she like invited me out, exclusive. Yeah. And I went up to look it out. Like after she did this, I went upstairs to go like look and research what it is. And I was like, man, there's really no information. And then like I called around to some people, and they basically were saying like, oh, you don't want to go there. That's not your cup of tea.
Oh my gosh. You don't know.
There might be people that I do know. I'm not trying to walk around a bar.
Have you ever been?
I'm not trying to walk around a bar and then people would know.
Okay, then you don't know.
I have not.
You might really like it.
I don't know if I would like it. I don't know if I'm into that kind of stuff.
And you don't know until you go.
Where people just.
It's not what you think, though.
I don't know.
No, it's not what you think. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, okay, so I've been to some where people are just like
You do know.
straight
Stop
up.
saying you don't know. You know. Be real. Be real. Tell us exactly what happens there. Don't say I don't know.
No, I don't know that
hear it
particular
right
bar.
on.
I don't know that particular bar. I just know that, it is more of a judgment-free type zone. And some people go with the intention of, obviously getting, laid or, having sex, which is totally fine. The main thing is like when you go, if you've never been, the first time you're just going to kind of check it all out and see what the vibe is, because every type of party is different based on, again, the exclusivity of the party of the type of, I guess, group, because, they have groups online and yeah, it's hard to explain. They're a lot of fun though. I loved it just because you could dance.
Is it true?
Go ahead.
Is it true that I could be talking to you at this location and then there's a group just getting freaky right next to us?
That rarely happened. That I think is more like a hedonism, which is kind of like this specific place where that's kind of all that. I think it's a little bit more, I guess, erotic or sexual. This would just be where couples can kind of meet, hang out. If we vibe, we vibe. If we don't, we don't. Some of them were at hotels. So if you wanted to kind of go do your thing, you could, but there was no expectation. There was never an expectation. I would say I could count on my hands that the time where we were all just kind of on the same page, because I'm thinking, I'm not taking one for the team. And he's like, I'm not taking one for the team. And you shouldn't have to, right? So it's just more
yeah, I heard that the person next to you, you could be talking and a guy's getting a BJ from either gender right next to you, and you're just letting it happen. And I'm well, I don't know if I want to be a part of that. I don't know if
if you're ready for that, or you want to be seeing all that shit. I get it 100%. I feel you on that, because I might not like the cup of tea that I'm watching. I'm not, or I don't want all the fluids and stuff. I'm I feel I don't know. I don't want
fluids
it out.
And stuff.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here? You saying there's fluids that are flying around we're in the Matrix and we have to dodge it?
No, but shit can get messy. Hey, you're really, it depends. You don't know what's happening.
Give me. I want to know one of your stories of being at one of these secluded swinger bars.
I don't want to use his name
or whatever the hell you go to. What are they called?
I'll tell you our first experience though. So
let's go.
We go to this. Okay, so we were let's go out. This is before we had our kid or whatever, and I was yeah, cool. Let's go to a local bar. Let's just go have, corner bar. Let's just go have, a drink and just watch a game, hang out or whatever. So we go to this place, and at that time, I think it was called Steve's Bar or something really just cheesy. We walk in, stripper pole. I'm okay, this is cool. All right, that seems like it's fun. So, we, I don't know. I feel I don't know. We never arrive usually that early. So it was probably around 10:30, 11 o'clock. The parking lot, there's quite a few people, and I don't think they were charging cover, but we're okay, cool, close to home, let's go. So we walk in, like I said, there's a stripper pole, there's disco lights, got the DJ. It was, I don't know, there was just, it oozed sexuality. When you walk in, it was just, I was wow, this is we never discovered, this is a little hidden gem. So we sit down at the table and order, cocktail or whatever. And this lady comes by, Professor X, and she pets the back of his head. And she's hi, or whatever. I'm Deb. Her name was Deb. And he's oh, hi, how are you or whatever. And he thought maybe she worked there because, she's so flirtatious, maybe a waitress or whatever. And just kind of started sparking up a conversation. And I was okay, well, whatever. And it's just everybody was so friendly. I was I'm feeling so welcome here. This is great. Great music. The drinks are good. So yeah, we didn't even know that we were in that was the night. We had no idea. So after, I go, we leave or whatever. And we had a great time. We stayed for a few hours. We were on the, I was on the stripper pole, just dancing and just, feeling free. And I was like, wow, I've never been to a bar where they've been so nice. Like that is like, wow. Like I'm feeling really like, I'm glad we moved out here. And come to find out, he's like, yeah, well, yeah, if you didn't know, I was looking up a little bit about it. He's like, yeah, it was like a swingers night. That's why they were all so fucking nice. And the ladies rubbing my hair. And I was like, oh my God. Like we had no idea. We were completely clueless. So it sparked my interest. And then I kind of like did a little searching and I was like, oh, let's sign us up. Like I want to be part of something fun like this. So yeah. And the rest is, I don't want to say history, but yeah. So we had a lot of fun over the years. I mean, we'd have parties at the house. It was some crazy shit. Yeah. I had a cook.
So you have your own swinger parties at your house?
Yeah, we did.
You have your own swinger parties at your house?
Yeah. Because some people, you are like creepy. Some people are just like voyeurs. So they'll just watch, right? And it's like, okay, cool. Like people are like, in one room doing their thing. And then you got one, voyeur that's just kind of like hanging out, like watching. Because some people want to do it in the open. So some people are just kind of doing their thing, girl, whatever. And then, you got the creepers just like, you don't just sit there. Like, it's just awkward. Like, if you're not going to partake, like watch for a second, but move the fuck on, right? Cramping my style.
So how do you find people that are cool enough to invite to your home? Because like, I mean,
yeah,
you could have like the Tinder swindler or like some crazy axe murderer coming to your house and you don't know. Like, do you have an app or do you have like friends that you know of, or is there just like because I'm obviously, if you're inviting people to your house, swinger parties, like, so I'm assuming there's multiple couples there. That means they're all partaking in something more exclusive, and they're all down to. So you have to know them, and then you have to feel comfortable with them. So like, did you meet them out previous, or did you just? What is the qualifications for our viewers?
Well, I think we're going to save that for part 2. What qualifies? How do you get invited into Kendra's house, right? To make that, how do you get Kendra to bake cookies naked? Because I used to. In my heels, I want to make sure everyone had food, everybody was fucking, everybody had fun, but clean your shit up. So yeah, but I'm going to tell you how. So we're going to do that. There has to be a part 2. So we're wrapping for now. And when we come back with the second part of this episode, I'm going to talk about everything like that I experienced, and this was a while ago, in the, the swing lifestyle, and some of the things that can go wrong if you don't play by the rules. So stay tuned, part 2. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us, hearing about our Halloween, and then how we went from Halloween to swinging. I don't know, but it is what it is. If you like our episode, like and follow us. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. You're the best. See you soon.